Alright guys, so we're gonna hop to the chase.
Hop to it.
Is that what people say? Hop to the chase?
Hop to the chase.
Skip to the chase? Okay, so we're just gonna get to the point of this video. So in a previous video, it was our Canada versus America accent challenge. We asked you guys to thumbs up the video if you were interested in seeing our love story, and a lot of you guys thumbs that up. And I've heard from a lot of you guys in like private messages and stuff that you guys want to see our love story. So that's what today is.
Who's that guy that did the Notebook? Salvador
Nicholas
Dali.
Sparks. Who? Let me tell you guys, there are some very happy moments and there are some very sad moments. So if you guys want to see our love story video, we are happy to share it with you, and we're going to include pictures for reference, a little bit of visual action.
Visual.
So, woohoo!
All right, here we go.
But I
love you.
love you too. I was in California at USC, the University of Southern California, in my last year of college. Where were you, baby?
At the time, I was in Vancouver Cancer Clinic doing chemotherapy.
He's Canadian, I am American, and we met on Instagram.
In the DM. She slipped right into my DM, let me tell you.
Yeah, I did.
I'll start off by telling you the story of an amazing lady, my wife. It all started back in 2015, all the way back in 015. I was diagnosed with testicular cancer, which sucked, and then had a surgery, and then my doctors were like, oh no, you're fine. You just come back every couple months and we'll keep an eye on you. And then my cousin and I, Sean, he's really cool, check out his Insta.
Oh my God. Don't plug Sean.
Him and I moved to Montreal. I continued my surveillance in Montreal. After several months, they found that some of my lymph nodes were starting to expand. And according to my blood work, my tumor markers and everything, they said that it was my cancer had metastasized in my lymph nodes. And I was like, oh shit. They were like, yeah, you gotta do chemo. And I was like, that's the worst thing you've said to me. So I decided to move back to my hometown in BC and kind of just dropped everything in Montreal and moved back, and my oncologists there were like, yep, get you hooked up to the old IV bag. And then, yep, started, and then boom, I get a DM about halfway through my chemo.
Well, let me tell my
side of the bargain.
I'm not actually quite sure how I found Kieran, because there's a lot of things that go into it. So as you guys know, on Instagram and things like that, there's an algorithm, and on the explore section, if you guys know what I'm talking about, a lot of different factors take place on there. A long story short, I found Kieran on Instagram and it showed him with like a bunch of hair, because he has a really thick head of hair, and then on the other side it showed that he had shaved his head, and I was like,
Buzzed.
Like, you know, I have 3 older brothers. I had a brother that's similar to him in age, and I was just like, this is so sad. I had never really been exposed to anybody who like had cancer, and for whatever reason, like I could. What?
What?
Why are you looking at me?
Can't look at my wife.
He was like on my mind, and it was so weird because at the time I knew he was from Canada because I went to his profile and I could see like Vancouver, and at the time like I was like, wow, Canada, that is so far away. All I wanted to tell him was that I'd be praying for him, and I just felt so like deeply sorry for this person I had never met before, and just like kind of connected to you in a way, and it was just, I don't know, I just felt called to message you. And he was like, thank you for messaging me, I really appreciate it. And then he followed me on Instagram, I followed him, and we kind of just started seeing each other's posts, and like little by little starting talking to each other more. And then we started to see each other's personalities really come out. Oh, do you have a Facebook that I can add you? Or no, you said Snapchat. I think he wanted to see if I was like actually real or something, because on Snapchat you can see the videos. And I was like, yeah, I do have a Snapchat, and we added each other on Facebook. And before you know it, we were Instagramming all day, like Instagram messaging all day, every day, no joke. We were having like phone conversations. on the phone, Snapchatting each other. Like, it was a real social media romance. But we became best friends first.
My friends thought that it was just like a really mean catfish, like to a guy that it was going through chemo.
Oh my gosh, like who would ever do that?
Well, remember when you didn't even like have Skype?
Yeah. Yeah.
They were like, she doesn't have Skype, she's not real.
So by January 2016, because we met in like late October or early November 2015 online, we were talking every single day, you guys. And by January, he was kind of just like, hey, do you have Skype? And I'm like, no, I don't have Skype. Look, there was never a reason for me to get Skype. I never needed it before. And his friends thought it was so weird. They were like, she's obviously catfishing you. Everybody has Skype. And I remember I got home from school that day and it was like a 12-hour day. My hair was in a ponytail. I had like little makeup on and I felt disgusting. But I remember thinking to myself, and remember this, ladies, I was like, you know what? I haven't even met him in person before. He's gonna see the real me and he's gonna decide if he likes it or not.
And I have seen it.
He's seeing the real me.
But I'm still here, so.
Babe! Did you think my greasy face was cute after a long day?
I couldn't tell.
Okay.
I was just like, wow.
Really?
Look at that, babe.
Really?
Oh
my god.
In my head, I was like, hey, you know, it'd be so nice if I just surprised her and then visited her in California. But then I was like, wait, she's going to school. That's a bad idea. So
I'm so glad he didn't just like show up out of nowhere or whatever, because I'm someone who likes surprises, but I don't really like surprises. You guys know what I mean? Not that that even matters, but like, you want to feel good when you're first meeting someone who you like / and love. Because at the time, let's tell them that. It was one night we were just like talking and he told me that he loves me, and I felt it in my heart that I loved him too, and I was like so in love with him. But it kind of scared me because I was like, we haven't met in person before. What if it's different in person? 1% chance that what if we don't hit it off in person or something like that? I was gonna feel terrible. And then I thought to myself and I was like, there's no way that's gonna happen. I'm already in love with him.
damn straight.
And so I was like, I love you too.
That's how that went.
Yep.
Later in January
25th, 2016 to be exact.
I met Cammie in California. It was a really like small world kind of story because my parents had a timeshare down there, about an hour and a half from where you live.
Palm Desert or something, yeah.
Yeah, about an hour and a half, and my parents had planned kind of a getaway to kind of just like clear my head after chemo.
Like well in advance before we even ever met on
Before
Instagram.
I even started chemo. They're like, are you gonna want to do this like after chemo? And I was like,
how weird is that, guys?
Yeah, and then I was like, hey, I'm gonna be at this place in Palm Springs. Do you wanna hang out?
Because I was thinking in my head, yeah, right. Like they totally planned this trip to come meet me, but his mom was like, no, we've had this trip planned well before ever even knowing about you. And I was like, that's so weird. So we both planned for when he came. To stay in the timeshares. So I'm like driving from school right over to the timeshare in Palm Springs, to my parents' timeshare, and he's like texting me like, hey, where are you? Like, and I was so nervous.
So yeah, you pulled up in your truck, and then it was like do we hug? Do we kiss?
Yeah, it was really weird because we were so excited to see each other, and we hugged, and then we were like, hi. No, we were just like this close to each other, and then we were like, hi. And we got out of the car and like started walking and went on a really nice walk and had a really nice night together, and then we finally kissed for the first time. It was so great.
Yeah. We started flying back and forth to see each other. So I was going through my last year of college.
Kieran had just gotten the all clear, and so we just started flying back and forth every like I think we did like
every 3 weeks.
Every 3 or 4 weeks to try to see each other. And yeah, and that was going really well. And boom, come March 2016. Oh! He put a ring on it, folks. He really did.
Because I liked it.
And a lot of people freaked out. Let me tell you guys. You liked it? So you put a ring on it?
Yeah.
Dang. Wow, we have a lucky girl. You know what? Yeah, it was pretty quick, but I'm gonna tell you guys, when you know, because I definitely knew. And
when you know.
And when you know, you know. And I wasn't scared about it. I had really good feelings about it. I felt so comfortable because I knew that Kieran was the one. I knew deep in my heart, I just knew he was gonna treat me very kindly and be everything that I wanted and more.
But I don't know, we'll save the honeymoon for another episode.
Yeah.
So I knew she was coming, and I was like, who else is coming? That ring, yo. And I don't actually speak like this in person.
No, he doesn't.
It's just my YouTube persona. So yeah, I got the ring, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna make this big old plan. And it wasn't super big, but it was pretty Canadian-esque. So I took her up to Whistler, BC, which is a little ski resort town. I had planned that we would go to dinner, or no, we would go skating, then go to dinner, and I would propose on the ice. And I had made a couple of silly mistakes. I didn't know how long she would take to get ready. Kind of put the stress on because like the ice rink's gonna close. We're gonna miss dinner.
Under an hour. I took under an hour to get ready.
Okay, well, that's what YouTube will know. But
What?
bit behind schedule. I was kind of freaking out. Outside ice rink, and then I proposed on the ice like almost exactly as it was closing, and then the guy that was operating was like, congratulations you guys, and then I had my brother like hidden away and he was taking pictures for us.
What I love about him and what I could tell right away is like he's very romantic, and that's how I am. Ever since I found this love with Kieran, I don't even care about watching Nicholas Sparks stuff anymore or anything like that, because I feel like what we have in real life is a lot better and more special than me than anything I could watch on TV, so.
True. We walked into the village and found this little Italiano place, and we split a little pizza.
Yeah, and it was really, really nice. And when we got to our hotel room, he had flowers there for me and champagne.
Heart shape.
We planned our wedding day for August 25th, and it was beautiful. It was better than I had ever pictured. Yeah, this is sneaking up on a really long video.
But another 100 likes and we'll tell you our honeymoon.
It's actually mostly not fun.
It's like the movie Are We There Yet?
It's a great story, but it's not like sad. It's kind of like funny how all these things went wrong, but it's for another video because that will take up a whole video. I really want to thank you so much for being such a sweet husband and loving me and for just being you, baby.
Oh, thank you. I love you too.
That's it. That's all I get is that simple love you.
Yeah, well, we gotta have some intimacy.
Thank you guys so much for watching our story on how we met, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I don't know what else to say.
Like, comment, subscribe, comment on other videos you'd like to see me in, I guess.
Yeah.
Sure.
Bye guys.
Au revoir tout le monde.